Welcome to Sports Park Analyst, the starting 11, your soccer show. I'm not usually recording most of the time. It's because the world is crazy with the sport. So I try and communicate when I can. You'll probably hear me on other shows, mostly the Heel Heat with the guys there. But I am your host, and it has my wrestling name on here. I am Paulinho. I'm your host for today's show. And we're going to go over today the preview of the World Cup, how I see things going, who I see coming out of the group stages, where the knockout rounds go, the best third place teams that go in, because there's a lot going on. Because this year they've upgraded from up to 48 teams. So, with that being said, let's kick it off here. Don't want to waste too much time because we got a lot of places to go. All right, so we're gonna start with Group A, right here, with one of the hosts, Mexico, right now. Um, their first game, they're opening the whole tournament against South Africa. Um, this is gonna be an interesting game. They're gonna play at home against South Africa, which is a very tough team to play against. But uh, I think people are gonna be surprised here with this score. Um, I see this coming around like a 2-1 game, and but it could easily, I see, end up in a tie, which would throw off a lot of my standings here in this group, which is why the scores are very important, and you'll see why when it comes to right here in the third place rankings. But I see this being a 2-1 game. South Africa it's going to be a tough team to beat, but in this group, unfortunately, this is a tough group to come out of. I don't see them winning this game. Maybe a tie, but because of how I have the groups and everything figured out, I have them losing. This game right here, this game is going to be probably the second best game in this group right here. And I feel that this is the one where you'll be surprised at the score being a 1-1 draw. And Czech is gonna play them tough, but I see the Koreans being fast and their technical ability keeping them in the game. But this could go either way. But I see it as being a draw. This one, unfortunately, I don't see South Africa winning this one. I have them losing 2-0. It's just South Africa is a good team, but in this group, it's just a lot of the teams are at a higher quality to me compared to them. They're not a bad team. They're not a doormat team. It's just that they're just in a tough group. They ended up in this group. They just end up being on the lower end compared to everybody else. This is going to be a very good game. Um, this is where I have a rough one because I see Mexico winning 2 games and tying one. But this is where it. That's why I said the first game I could see them winning or tying it, but not losing it. This is where it's difficult for me. Who are they gonna beat? Are they being Korea or are they being Czechia? Now I see them being Korea. I see this being a 3-1. Just Mexico's style is gonna overtake Korea's. Korea is gonna just have trouble with them. It's gonna be a nightmare for them. This Chechnya game with Mexico is going to be the game of this group right here. This will, as you see the standings, dictate first and second place, right? But I see this being a draw. And this is where I have trouble because this is a game where Korea is supposed to win. In my original way, I had Korea in second. So this is a thing. This is where the goal differential comes into play. See, I had them losing one. So I had them losing this one then. That's what it was. Losing that one. And I guess tying this one now. Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah, so this was I had this as a draw then, I guess then. This is I should have written down. I just had see, when I wrote things down. I just had the standings. How I had the standings in is I didn't write the scores, did I? Let me see. Did I write the scores for the game? No, I did not. I just wrote the standings. How I saw the group ending. I had Mexico in first, Korea in second, Czechia in third, and South Africa in last. Unfortunately, it's not that it's going to be a bad show for South Africa. Like I'm saying, it's just going to be they're in a tough group where they're in, and the game that's going to dictate for Korea and Chechnya and their I'm pronouncing their name, country name wrong. Don't kill me. Is the game against each other, which I have them as a draw. So that's the important game right here. Day one will dictate everything to me in this group. If it remains like this, don't be surprised if the standings stay like this. If this somehow changes, whatever, it's gonna throw everything off. But let's go on to the next one. All right. I'll just say how I have the group standings, and then we'll figure out the scores afterwards to make it much easier. All right. In this group, I have Switzerland in first, and Bosnia in second, Canada in third, and Qatar in last. Unfortunately, Qatar is the weaker team is going to show. It's going to show. If you didn't realize that in the last World Cup, it's going to show in this one. You got Switzerland and Bosnia, tough teams. They're just gonna have their way with Qatar. Canada is the one that's gonna have that's where they get their win. Now, this right here, I see this as a tie, 2-2. So Qatar's not gonna win anything. We'll do this 2. We'll do 1 here. Just give them a goal there, and let's give them 3 there, and then we'll do 2-0. No, 3-0. All right. So now it's hard at Bosnia. Bosnia winning 1 game and tying the others. I had them tying. Really? I had them tying. So that's the tie. And then this is, let me see, Canada is what? 1-1-1. Canada has 1 win. Okay, this is a draw. Then Switzerland, Canada. I think this is the loss. So this is 3-1. And there you go. There you go. I think this is where Canada is gonna have their best game. But it just won't be enough to beat Bosnia. I could be wrong. Bosnia could win this. I just think it's because Canada's gonna come out so high with so much energy. It's gonna push them, and it just won't be enough to push them over that hump, but it'll be enough to get them at least at 1 point to start off. Now, it's gonna be tough because the thing is now, unlike before, where you first or second, you're good. Now, like you're in third, you literally have to watch your goal differentials, and then also goals against and goals in favor. Goal differentials are good, but if you're tied with others, it's gonna break down into like other categories too. You know, like you see right here, goals in favor. So if the goal differential is the same, okay, so how many goals did you make? That's gonna be important. All right, Group C. Oh, this is an interesting one. All right, Group C. I'm gonna get some hate. I'm really gonna get some hate. All right, but I have Morocco in first, Brazil in second, Scotland in third, and Haiti in last place. Unfortunately, I don't see again. Haiti is in a tough group. They don't match well against anybody here. Scotland is probably the only one where they'll probably have a chance to win a game, but unfortunately, I don't see that happening. If they do, I won't be shocked. But it's one of those where it can go either way. I just see Scotland in there. So I'll say this is it won't be an easy game. It'll be 1-0. This is to me, this is gonna be a draw, a 2-2 draw. This is where Morocco wins. We'll go 3-1. This equality is so much. This is gonna be bad. That's gonna be bad. 3-1. This is gonna be another 3-1 game. I just think because of I think Haiti's gonna go into that Brazil game. Too much respect for them where they're gonna it's how do I say this without I don't want to say anything bad. It's when you play a team, you show so much respect. You play a little different because they're I think I might happen with Haiti. They just played Peru Friday. Peru came back and won 2-1. And Peru right now, that's my country. I love them. Right now we're rebuilding. We're literally got a new coach. We're trying a bunch of new players and especially young players. So it's a bunch of young kids on that team. It's a brand new team, and we fought and came back at the end. Yes, there's a lot of that needs to be worked on by Haiti. Couldn't they clean it up? Yes. Will it be enough to get out of this group? I don't think so. They're literally going to be playing for Scotland for that third place game, for that third place. And then now it depends on how they, come about with their goal differentials. But because they're playing Morocco and Brazil, it's going to be a bad differential for them. And even for Scotland, it'll be a bad one. So whoever ends in third place here might not even make it to the next group because of the goal differential. Again, very important. All right, now we got Group D with our other host, Australia, Paraguay, Turkey, and USA. Paraguay just took a tough hit with Incensio and Cecil getting hurt on their game the other day. That was supposed to be their like going away, like they had a big event and everything to bid him adieu. He got hurt in that game, and from the reports I'm seeing, he's going to miss the first 2 games of the World Cup. He'll be there for their last game against Australia. That's going to hurt them, their attack. But the way I see this group, I see them in second place. With that injury, they might fall to third because that's going to be that's that, and you'll see why. Because I had Turkey winning 2 games, and now I might have Turkey not losing any games because I thought they were gonna, like, Paraguay could have stood the chance to beat them. That's it. I don't think USA has enough. I mean, yes, they look good against Germany. They look good against a couple of the teams, but we're talking different now. We're talking Paraguay, Turkey. They're on a different level. They're going to be Australia? Yes, definitely going to be Australia. Again, Australia, to me, is in a tough group. Are they going to make it out of this? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think they'll make it out of this group at all. I think USA in this one, we'll see this way. So they're going to lose against Turkey. It's going to be a tough game. Turkey's attack is just really good. Really. So those that don't watch them, you got a lot of players. You got Aragula. You got their attack is very going to surprise you if you haven't watched them. Okay. So I got Turkey winning this game. So that's USA. I got USA winning this game. This is going to be a 2-0 game. It could be a 3-0 game. And then this game, because of the injury, is going to change to me. This is going to change this game. And I think this is going to be more of like a 2-2 game. But I will say this now. Don't be surprised if that injury takes a toll and they actually lose. Paraguay loses this game. Because I had Paraguay winning this game and then tying this game. And then, no, I had a tie here. I had a tie here. I had to win this game. That's what it was. I had USA losing in 2 ties. But it's going to be different because that injury could take a toll. I could see this being more like a 2-1 because of that injury. So I'll put that there. And then it's going to change my bracket to what I had originally. Turkey's going to win this one. Put 3-1. So I think Australia will either get one like before the first half or in injury time at the second half, like right before the game ends. This one I had this as a draw, but again, because of the injury, yeah, And then this is where Cecil comes back. I think that's going to be that. And now Paraguay is going in third place. It's going to throw off a lot, and you will see why, because those two teams, USA and Paraguay, are now flipped into the next bracket. If you'll see why, you'll see. Group B. Group B is Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao. Curacao again is the lower end of this group. It's going to be tough for them. It'll be a real tough task for them. Let me see. This one I had Germany winning 2, Ecuador winning 1 and drawing 2, Ivory Coast winning 1, drawing 2, Curacao losing all games. So we'll go with this. We'll go 0. Ivory Coast is very slept on. A lot of African teams are slept on how good they are. It's not that they're not bad. It's just that they're a lot better than people think. I don't think they're going to score on here. That defense is too solid. Ecuador's defense is too solid. All right, this is the game. I'm trying to remember. This is going to be a draw because that defense of Ecuador is so solid. Then what I have Germany winning. I had this as a draw. 1-1 draw. Okay. Then poor Curacao. And I had this is no. This is no. All right. Yep. So I had it. Again, goal differential is important. Very important. I'm drawing 2 games. What the heck? Who do I have? Okay, I haven't drawn 2 games. It's 1 draw. Who did I have? I had Germany tying 1. Ecuador tying 2. It's 1 draw. 2 draws right there. Yeah, see? This is where it gets funky. Okay, I had this. That's there. That's their draw. That's their draw. So somebody had to take an L. Yeah, no, that's fine. It worked out. All right, so this is where it goes. All right, this Ivory Coast is they're gonna have to be close to winning a couple games. They're gonna be there, but again, I won't be surprised if it flips. I see Germany as the first place in this group, but don't be surprised if Ivory Coast and Ecuador switch. Again, it's just 1 point off, so it could switch. All right. One of my favorite teams to watch: Japan, Netherlands, Sweden, and Tunisia. This could actually end up being the group of death, I believe. Let me see what the rest of the ones. No, this is. Some say this is it. I don't. It's tough. I have like another one that's another tough group. The group of death, if you don't know, the group of death is pretty much where all 4 teams are solid teams that you can make a case for any. Back when it was just 2 teams going, you can make a case for any 2 teams in any different way rankings to go into the next round. And this, I think that's why I say I think this is the group of death, because you can make a case where, again, Japan and the Netherlands go in as first, second. Netherlands and Sweden go in. Netherlands and Tunisia, Sweden and Tunisia. Like you can swap it around in any way, and you can make a case. And this is very tough, because the thing is, people don't realize how technically good Japan really is. This is why I kind of fell in love with that team. Watching them, always love watching Japan since I think years ago. I can't remember which World Cup it was. I think it was Korea. And then I read into their history and what they've done, in order to improve their technical ability and how they go in there. So it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Best promotion on stream. Yeah, no, so man, bots, love bots, love the bots. Gotta love the bots. So with this one, I have the Netherlands winning all of their games, all of them going undefeated in here in this group to take first place. So let's get them out the way. Love Japan, but that's a mismatch for them. This is going to be a good game right here. I think you're going to want to watch this game, Netherlands and Sweden. And I think Japan and Sweden is another good game to watch too. There's going to be a lot of good games in this group. Like, I don't think you want to miss any of the games in this group as it is. Group F, I would probably say you might want to watch. If you can watch all the games, watch it. Match day 3 is going to be tough because all the games are played at the same time in the group. No cheating, no, trying to avoid that stuff. All right, so I have Netherlands winning this one 2-1. Tunisia is just going to be a little more organized than you expect. All right, in second place, I got my boys in Japan. They got 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. So, who are they beating? I think they're beating Tunisia. They're beating Tunisia 2-1. They're drawing against Sweden 2-2. And then I got Sweden in third with a draw here. And again, like I said, Tunisia, it's not that they're bad. It's just, again, they're in a tough group. And like that's the thing with the last place team. You got to see who's in that group. Because like a team like Curacao, like those teams, they just got the short end of the stick. It's you're playing Germany, you're playing Ecuador. Like Ecuador has one of the best defensive teams in this tournament, and then you're playing Germany. Like it's like you're like those two teams are always going to be tough to beat in any World Cup. Always. All right, Group G: Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Okay, get out the way. New Zealand not winning any games. I'm sorry, you're not winning the games. You will get a tie, and that will probably be either against Egypt or Iran. I have Belgium going in first with winning all 3 games. So let's get that out the way. This would be a 3-0. This would be this would be a 3-1. This would be a 3-0. This will be, boy, this is gonna be bad. Sorry, New Zealand. Then I have Egypt winning 2. Egypt wins this one. The Pharaohs are gonna win. They got a goal in here, and then they're gonna win this one. This will be an interesting game, 3-2. This is going to be a tie. 2-2. Bam. Okay. All right. That's going to be a tie. Let me see here. Then we got our next group, Group H. And this would be Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cabo Verde. It's an interesting group because you have 2 teams that I already see they're going to pass by, Spain and Uruguay. The question is who's in third and how are they gonna withstand in the third place rankings are to go into the next round. That's the only thing is are they going to be able to do a good job where they will be able to go into the next round? Because if they can, then they should be good to go. What I have here, let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see something because I know I had. So I had done 2 because Messi had an injury, so I was trying to figure out depending on what the injury was. So I already done it pre-fill. All right, let's see. This is him. I have the scores here already. All right. Let me see. Correct this maybe a little bit. Let me go back. Let me see. I had it at 2-0 here. I had that 1-1, 2-0, 1-1. Oh, I was being gracious. Wow. 2-0, 2-0. Okay. Group B, 1-1, 3-0, 2-2. Canada, Qatar. Wow. I'm gracious here. This is supposed to be a 2-0. Gracious here. It's supposed to be 3-0. And I was gracious there because that was 3-0. But you see how it switches positioning already. And then Group C was 2-2. Oh, actually, I had them scoring here. 2-1, 3-0. It's just Morocco is so good. Yeah, no, I'll leave that 4-0. 3-1. I had 3-0 here. Morocco is just different. See, so before the injury, I had Paraguay winning this game 2-0. And now with the injury, I have it going the other way 2-1. I'll show you the bracket I had before this injury and how it looked. Turkey, Paraguay had that 1-1 because of the injury. It's now 3-1. Australia, USA, I had that 2-2. Let's do that. 2-2. And then I had this 2-0. Yeah, that's fine. Do that there. Even with that change, even with this being 2-2, it's because of that injury. They flip. So anybody saying USA is going to win that group, I'm sorry, they're not. They're not going to win that group. You're not beating Turkey. You're beating. Wait, why do I have them tying you with Australia? There you go. You're not winning that group. The only reason you're in second was because of the injury Paraguay has. That's it. If not, you'll be in third because that's either going to be a tie with Paraguay in CISO or it's going to be a loss. I had them losing 2-0. Put it that way. All right, Group E. How did I have that originally? 3-0. We'll leave it there 4. See, I had this as 2-1. Curacao 3-0, 2-1. 1-1. 2-1. Okay. All right, that's how I had it. I had Ecuador winning that one. All right, Group F. All right, it's 3-1, 2-2, 2-1, 2-1. Netherlands winning this 2-0. That'll make a difference, but the goal differential, yeah. So I'm pretty much. It's not that I'm remembering. It's just because of the way I see it, the way I'm looking at this tournament playing out. I could be wrong. It's just that the way I see these teams play, the style of play, their history in the World Cup. Because you could have a team that made it, but if they're a young team, that has never played the World Cup, it's a different pressure, man. Like even if it doesn't matter if it's like CONMEBOL or if it's UEFA, it's one thing is if you're playing Nations League or Copa America. World Cup is completely different. It is completely different, man. It's not the same. People can have that conversation, but it's just not. I'm sorry. It's just not. So I had this as 2-0, man. 2-0, 2-2. I had this 0-0. Wow. I'm being generous. We'll leave it at that. I had this 2-0. Put that real quick. We're going to correct this, and I'll go off of my sheet because I remember about it. Okay, I had that one there. That one's there. Yeah, I had Egypt winning that one. Okay. So pretty much it's the same. It's the goal differential is just different. All right. So All right, now we're Group H. Cabo Verde. Again, glad you could be here. It's just you're in a tough group. This one, Uruguay, I have them in second place. Um, this could go either way, but I just see this winning. I don't see them making the same mistake that Argentina made 4 years ago on this one. Uruguay is not taking Luis Suarez. It's not a mistake. I love the guy. I think he's one of the best strikers in history. It's just that knee, man. That knee. It's the difference between him and Neymar is the fact that Neymar has injury issues right now. They just started adding up. Injury prone. He's got the injury bug right now. Does he need to retire? That's a whole separate conversation. But Suarez has to go through a whole routine in order to play. Like he has to take some pain medicine, knee drain, and I don't know what else I read that he had to do in order to play, and that the knee still bothers him. So he's on like he could retire after this year, but I don't. He's not a national league player no more. To take him is just to have him go one more time. I don't think that's fair when you can take a young player to go that will be there in another 4 years. So I think they did it right. Love the guy, great talent. I just don't think it would have been right to take him there over a 20-year-old that's that needs that experience to know the pressure of the game, the routine and everything, because the routines are different. So that's how I see it. Saudi Arabia in third. That this game against Cabo Verde is going to be a tough one. It could flip. Now, here's the thing. If Cabo Verde wins this game, it flips. And at the moment, they're in third. This is one of those where it could go either way. We could leave it that way. Because Cabo Verde make it out of Africa. It's a big thing. So I'll flip this around. I'll put them in there 2-1. But you see here, this is where the goal differential makes a difference. How bad is it? If they can keep these games a lot closer, then they'll go higher in the rankings and they won't be sliding down so fast. All right. Next group, France, which I don't see them losing. Let's see what we got here with France. Group F is, all right, let's see here. Group F is going to be tight. Let's see, Group F. Yes, Group F is going to be tight. My buddy Luke, he watches us over from Europe. The heel heat. Yes, sir, I'm here. Group H is maybe the most obvious group. Spain, Uruguay for sure. Group G. Yeah, Group G is the obvious one. Yep, you're right. It is. If you have some of those, buddy, you have some of those, Luke. They're just obvious. You know who's gonna go. France is another one. This is one that it's gonna be a tough one. You're gonna see some good games in this one, but I just think France has a lot of firepower in this one. But you'll be surprised at how I see it going. This game, 3-2. Don't let that friendly against the USA lie to you or persuade you differently. Because if you look at how that game went about, Senegal didn't play with their whole starting 11. Senegal played with a whole different formation. So that was a different Senegal that played and won AFCON. So that's this way we have to understand. Friendlies before the World Cup, you have coaches that try certain things. They want to see a couple of players that are on the lower end of the totem pole, get them in playing so they can see, okay, what are you doing? How can I prepare you better now so that when I need you in a couple weeks in game 2 or 3 or maybe game 1, you already know. I already fixed your little things. Now, if something happens in the game, we'll fix it during the game. But if I can get you on the same path or better, we're good. Again, why Senegal was trying something different, I don't know. You got to ask the coach. But again, we have Senegal 3-2. This is going to be a good game. You're going to want to watch this game. It's going to be a good game. Senegal and France. It's a lot. It's yeah. This one, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way because of Senegal. Senegal is a team. If you're thinking bad about them, no. If you think it's gonna be France, Norway, you're mistaken. You'll see. Sorry, Iraq. Tough. This is gonna be a good game. This is Holland. Holland is going to have to do all the work in this game to try and do as much as he can, but is he's gonna fall short. He's gonna fall short. Um, boom, boom, and then this is the game to watch. 2-1. I have that. It could be more, but I think Senegal is going to be trying to defend more to make sure they hold Holland and in place to try to keep that game closer. Because as you can see here, um, Norway is literally needs that win. They got 2 losses. They need that win before that because they're going in want to win. They're pretty much going in with the win as well. So it's a matter of second and third place. So the winner of this game goes in second, the losers in third, and I see Senegal. I'm sorry, I see Senegal in this one. Next, we got Group J. Group J. All right. I know y'all love to say Messi and FIFA and all that stuff, but yeah, this is going to be Argentina all day. Austria is probably going to give them the best competition in order to in this group to me. But after that, I think there is no more competition. Austria Algeria game is going to be interesting to watch. That third place game, it can go either way. I just see because of the fact that Austria they won their game against Jordan, and Algeria is going to be struggling against Jordan. Algeria is going to have more to play than Austria. Austria is going to play not to lose. That can be dangerous now. Don't get it twisted. That can be dangerous. If you're playing not to lose and to just draw, your mindset is okay, just don't just tie. Just tie the game and this and that. And I can see Algeria going up 1-0 and Austria switching their game plan. Okay, oh crap. Now we're losing. No, we need to win. So they're flipping and they're going to get now, granted, it could backfire them. They could tie the game and be fine, and it ends up like this, where they're in second, Algeria's in third, or it could backfire in the aspect where they're doing this to try and win the game, or just to tie it, and then Algeria comes back on the counterattack and ends up scoring, and it ends up being either a 2-0 game or 2-1 game. So, like I said, it's a lot of mismatches here, a lot of chess, and seeing what happens. So now Group G, Group K. That was J. Going K. All right. This is for sure a good one here. Portugal's 2-0. I will get more in depth on the team. I don't want to go focus on teams too much because of the fact I want to give away a lot right now. And like say Portugal, everybody's saying, oh, they're going to win the whole thing. And I'll tell you why I don't see it. But I have Colombia first because this is a point differential comes into play. Goal differential. Goal differential is going to say who's in first in this game because I think their game they play on the last day, Portugal and Colombia, is going to end in a tie. Is it end in a tie? Because at the end of the day, in this case, it doesn't matter. They both go in. At that point, they're just playing for standings. And in the aspect of if you're in first place, you're going here. You're in second, you go here. Now, you could roll the dice, but you don't know because you have so many other games that need to be played. So if you roll the dice and you're like, you know what, we're comfortable staying in second. Let them go in first and play for the tie. It is what it is. Next thing you know is you have a matchup you don't even like. I don't know what they're going to do. I just think it's going to end in a tie. Okay. This, my friends, is what I will definitely call the group of death because you have Croatia, England, Ghana, and Panama. Panama, some teams may say they're the weak and this and that. No, do not sleep on Panama. Panama is one of those teams that I like to say that they play until like the end. Like they will grind it out. They're a grinding team. You know, you win, but you're gonna come back hobbling. This gonna be 2-1 there. This is going to be a 1-1 game because again, it's a grind out win. This one actually could be Ghana winning. I could see Ghana winning this game, but definitely not Panama, unfortunately, because I think uh Ghana is going to be able to counterattack them, uh, and probably they could probably end up scoring more than one goal on a counterattack. But I'm going to be generous. Because of the way I have the brackets going in the knockout rounds. This is why. And then this is not going to be nice, but yeah, this is going to be a okay. So the score says one thing, but the game will be different. This is going to be a good game to watch. England Ghana will be a good game to watch, just like the England Croatia game. But I just think England's going to have too much talent compared to Ghana. That is just, you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see the talent gap. Not that Ghana is bad. It's just England will have that much better talent on their squad. And this one is the one that's going to send Panama home in a bad way. This is going to be a good game. I just think it's going to get in a tie. I think Croatia, again, you've seen it. You saw the last World Cup. Croatia grinds it out. They grind it out. They were losing to Brazil, and next thing you know, they tied it up. And that's what I see here. I see Ghana winning. Like they'll be either up 2-0 or 2-1, and then out of nowhere, Croatia either comes back and gets the goal tied, or they tie the whole game at 2-2. It's just the way Croatia plays. I don't know why. I don't know why they wait to wake up. That's just the way I see it. So as you see right here, these are the teams that, because of the way I had the things go, the standings, third place teams. Okay. Now, this is where it's important because now we're going into the brackets, the knockout bracket. We got Germany versus Scotland, France versus Paraguay, which in my original one was supposed to be Sweden. But again, like I said, because this is why I said injuries, stuff like that, it changes things. This is why I wanted to wait when we got more closer because I had it where this was Sweden because Paraguay was in second and USA was in third. And because of the way that group fell out, they weren't in that play in that spot. So for me, it stays the same: Korea, Bosnia, Netherlands, Morocco. Wait, why is it Morocco? Why not Brazil? That's weird. How did I? Let me go back and see because. Yeah, don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. So that means one thing only. That means that Japan is playing Brazil. Okay, it changed everything for me. Look at that. So that changed. It's still the same. Portugal, Croatia. Wait, who did I have in first in that group then? Oh, that's why. That is why. Because I had. Okay. Yeah, no. It's supposed to be this way. So 2-2, 2-1, 3-0. Okay. It's the goal differentials. That's why. There it is. Okay. 3-0. 3-1. 3-0. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Now that's right. Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. What the heck happened? It was the goal differentials. Do you see what I mean, though? The goal differentials is a big thing. It literally will tell you that 4-0, 3-0 game. Yeah. Okay. Portugal, Croatia, Turkey, Canada, Belgium, Czechia. All right. I have Belgium winning here. 2-1. The reason why it's just I have Belgium's talent just being good enough to beat this team that's very tough, a very grind out team, a workhorse team. Turkey's gonna be too much for Canada. Spain is too talented to lose in there. There's gonna be a good game right here. Now, this is what. Well, I'll get to this in a little bit. All right, this is gonna be Germany, no problem. This is gonna be France. It wasn't gonna matter. This is going to be Bosnia. All right, the last two games, which is gonna be a big one. All right, so when it comes to Portugal, everybody say they could win it, and I say they can, but it depends on the decision the coach takes and makes because of how I seen this team play. If the team plays and forces the ball to Ronaldo to try and play this game through him, you will have limited success. Meaning, in the group stage, you will be okay because your talent should surpass everybody in that group. But when it comes to the knockout round, you don't have that chance. So you will see Ronaldo in this game. If he wants to beat Croatia, you need to swallow your pride and you need to just let the game go, let the game flow normally as it needs to go. There's so much talent on that team that they should be Croatia. Now, Netherlands and Brazil. That is a must-watch game, okay? Because of the fact of the styles of play. You will see a game where I have Brazil not making it to the finals. They're going to be in here as the only way they can win this one is I see because Ancelotti if Neymar can stay healthy, right? They need a number 10. They need a playmaker. The only way I can see that you put Rafinha in there as the playmaker, right? And then you have him play out. Paqueta is not it. He hasn't shown me to be it on the national team level. On the club level, he's solid. But I've been told since I was a kid, my dad would always say, you can have a player be great on his club team, go to the national team, he's average, he's okay. But he takes the leagues by storm, but he's okay. But then you can have an average or above average club player, but when he goes to play for the national team, guy's a rock star. He's not going to be like, he's going to be solid. He's going to be a rock. Like, you can count on him, but on the club level, you're like, he's not anything outstanding. But on the national team, he's your anchor. He's holding you down, So Paqueta is the latter. He can tear it up in the league when it comes to the national team. I just don't think for some reason, he can't convert that game over into a national stage. I don't know why. But if Ancelotti decides to put Rafinha at the 10, right, plays him there, and then puts Neymar in the 10, moves Rafinha to the wing, you still remain attack effective, and then you have Neymar there producing. Neymar is at the point where he will release the ball now more than before. He's learned it. So, with that being said, I have this one right here. I have that one. And I have them beating Bosnia as well. Okay? I have Belgium winning this game as well. And I like this because it kind of gives you the wins. I don't think it's going to be a 1-0 game. I think this might end up being like a one-goal differential. But I don't think it'll just be one goal. I think it'll be like a 3-2, a 2-1, something like that. So now we have France and Germany. This is going to be a good one. I just think France has a lot of talent to win this game. Yes. And then here is where the ego comes into play. Because Ronaldo. If Ronaldo is playing, Ronaldo's gonna want to force and have it because unfortunately the way I see him is differently. I see him like very about him lately. It's about him lately. So I think Spain's gonna win this. Like I said, if the coach has the fortitude and play the game the way they should with that squad and not through Ronaldo, they can get further than this. But until then, it's Spain. It's Spain here. Um, this is gonna be a great game to watch. France Brazil is gonna be a great game to watch. This is where it's tricky. Does Brazil defensively have enough to withhold the attack of France on the counterattack? Can they get back fast enough? I don't think so because we saw that issue in the last World Cup. Even though you have Ancelotti, I think it's more of how do I say this? The pace of the game being a lot faster than we think. Not saying that they're not fast. They are, but the way France plays between Dembele, Mbappe, Doué, Olise, they're fast. They move the ball fast. So I just think this is going to be France. Unfortunately, it's going to be the last game for Neymar. We're going to say goodbye. We're going to say goodbye to a lot of legends. This will be the last game for Ronaldo. We're going to see them crying, unfortunately, because that's the last one. So I will leave this here for this semifinal game, and then we'll go to the other side of the bracket. Okay, Morocco and Japan. Okay, we have to remember now. This is going to be a tough game. I love Japan. Morocco is a tough squad. I just have Japan. It's going to be a hard-fought game in the aspect where you're going to have the technical ability and the fast pace of Japan against a strong technical Morocco team that is fast as well. I just think the technical ability of Japan is much better. It comes down to who can finish. Now, I will be putting out another video or short Instagram post about the Golden Glove nominees, the Golden Ball nominees, who I believe will be the Golden Boot winner. One of my Golden Glove nominees is Japan's goalie. Can't remember his last name. I don't want to massacre it. It is Zion Suzuki. Suzuki, yeah, Zion Suzuki. All right, he is only 23, and he plays at Parma. Man, he was born in Newark, New Jersey. Let me find out. I think he will keep them in the game. He will keep them in this game. Literally keep them in this game. That's why I think that one score that is predicting, I could see it standing there. Does it become a 2-0? It could be, because I can see Morocco getting desperate to the end of the game, where they're now they're going to with a 3-back line, maybe a 2, keeping just 2 center backs back there, and Japan just catches them on a counterattack, and they go up 2-0 at the end of the game, with like maybe injury time or so per se. But I see Japan winning this game. Now, this Ecuador-Senegal game, I had a tough time trying to figure that one out. Oh boy, what happened? Man, I just lost my window. That's just great. Technical difficulties. That's awesome. Let me see. All right, I gotta put everything back in here now. Sorry, must have fat fingered it or something. All right, let me see. When you go live, this is what happens. You have no chance of making mistakes. Good thing is I have everything already out here. did. It is what it is. I had this is 2-1, so I had them winning. Yeah, it's different now. Let me see. It's going to be different, but this is. I got to get this in here. Two zero 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 2 0. Had 2-1. 2 3 0 3 And Congo's a tough team. They're organized. I saw that game against Jamaica. They're organized and they grind it out. They grind it out. So they're going to be a tough out no matter what. That's why I have them at their place. Those scores, again, yeah, just because I put like a 2-0, it doesn't mean that that team is going to dominate the game necessarily. It's just it could be one of those where it's like Colombia scores the 2 goals, but it is either trouble finishing or Congo just breaks up a pass and stuff like that on a counterattack or so. So necessarily doesn't mean that it's going to be complete domination by Colombia at all necessarily. All right. So we got that. All right. So now we go to knockout rounds. That. Bosnia, Brazil, France, Portugal, Spain, Turkey, Belgium, France. All right. Now, second pass back, Japan. What do I have here? All right. So, all right, let's go back. Yeah, see? In my original one, I had Mexico versus Saudi Arabia. Who is different then? Oh, the Paraguay one. The Paraguay is throwing everything off because because of the way I had it going initially. Before that, Paraguay was going in. Initially, I had it. Paraguay was second, so that was supposed to be. Oh yeah, I had. Oh, initially I had USA last place tied with Australia without winning any games and tying 1, losing 2. So initially I had them losing to Paraguay, losing to Turkey, and tying Australia. Yeah, that's how I had them initially. That's why it looks a little different than what I originally had. Like, okay, now it makes sense. All right, so now it's gonna throw me off a little bit. But so this game, Ecuador Senegal, is gonna be a good game. I see this one where Ecuador's defense is going to give them a tough time, and then I see their counterattack working for them in their favor. So I have Ecuador winning that game. Start back here. Mexico, Costa Ivory. I had okay, so this is where it's going to be interesting for me. Initially, because it's supposed to be Saudi Arabia, right? I had uh Mexico win the game. Now because it's Ivory Coast, I don't really know. It's that difficult for me to decide. Where is this game being played at? That is the question. FIFA World Cup game 71. Is that 71? No, match 79. Sorry, 79. 79. Okay, this is going to end up being a first a home game for them. So again, the home game for Mexico is a lot of pressure for Mexican team if they're playing because the fans expect so much from them. So if this game is 0-0 by halftime, the crowd will turn on them. It's a matter of then of how are they going to respond to that negativity from the fans. It sucks, yes, but unfortunately, that is how their fans are because they expect so much from them. Now, I can see it being a close game. It could go either way, but for the sake of everything, I will say Mexico pulled this off, not in a 2-0 state. I think this will be more like a 3-2 drama game where they're up 2-0 and then they're up then Ivory Coast comes up and they start squeaking back and it's 2-1 game. Mexico goes up 3-1 and then towards the end, like with 5 minutes left before injury time, Ivory Coast scores the second goal. So Mexico gets like nervous because they're trying to hold on to the lead. And then they hold on to a 3-2 lead. I don't think this 2-0 is what it's going to end up being. But that's how it's simulating. I don't think I could change this, can I? Nope. What time I keep pressing? Is it 2-0? 1-0? Yeah. Well, we'll leave it at 2-0. All right. Next game is England versus Congo. Again, Congo is a tough team. They're going to be a tough out. I just don't see this happening. I just don't see England. I just don't see England losing on this one. I'm sorry. Argentina Uruguay is going to be a game and a half. I just don't think Uruguay has enough right now. And I put most of it on the coach right now. I think he had enough to get him out of the group stage, but not enough for this knockout round. I'm sorry. I love Uruguay. I love my Uruguayans. Uruguayos, biwachos. I just think it's Bielsa has not shown me what you guys need to get past the knockout rounds further in, even into the semifinals. I don't think he's it. I just don't think he's it. And the thing was, I when he was out there, I thought he would have been a good fit for Uruguay, but I don't think he's handled that team properly the way they should have been managed. So I think he'll be done after this World Cup. He'll be fired, or if his contract expired after the World Cup, it's not going to get renewed. Simple as that. USA versus Egypt. This is going to be a good game. They're going to be challenged here. USA will be challenged here. There is going to be, where is it going to be at? Let me see. Match day 88. The game is very important. Oh, and it's July 3rd. Look at that. Is it Dallas? Okay. The USA fans need to show up to this game. If it goes how I'm going with this. And if they're playing this game in Dallas, they need to show up. They need to show up because you need to show the world right now that you can hang. And I'm not talking about team-wise. I'm talking about supporter-wise. I don't think they're there yet. They are growing, but they're not there yet. I think they pulled this off. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I just don't think Egypt is able to finish it off. Um, that's going to be it for them. It's going to be an interesting matchup here: Argentina versus USA. Um, in that round, Switzerland, Norway. So originally, this was supposed to be Switzerland versus Ivory Coast. So a lot of it changed because originally it was supposed to be Paraguay versus Egypt here, and this was supposed to be. And you see how because of the way the injury to Paraguay switched how I originally had it. This is going to be a tough game. I'm going with Norway on here because I just don't think Switzerland has what it needs to stop Norway in what it brings to the table. I don't think they have anybody to hold Holland. Let's just be simple as that. Colombia, Croatia. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a heartbreak. My son loves Modric. He's one of his favorite players. I just don't think that Croatia's gonna have it to come back on Colombia and make that a thing. Now let's go back to the top. Japan, Ecuador. Japan, Ecuador is gonna be a great game to watch. It's just that I don't think Japan is gonna have the answer to get past Ecuador and score on them. Could they figure it out by the time the game starts? Yes, maybe. But I just don't see them having enough. I think that's going to be it for the Blue Samurais. They're gonna leave after match 31 in around 16. All right. This is a big game for Mexico because they have this whole thing where they cannot get past the round of 16. And this, again, is a home game for them. This is a home game for them against England. This will be must-watch TV. Must-watch. Because you have a Mexico team playing at home at Aztec Stadium against a well-rounded England team. Okay? Now, will Mexico find an answer to England? I doubt it. I completely doubt it. I don't think they will find an answer. I think they will be stuck with that round of 16 blemish that they can't get past, unfortunately. Okay? It's going to be a hard loss for them. Their fans are going to be upset, but you have to look at who you're playing against. You're not playing against a team that, it's a doormat. This is England. There's a solid, good team there. Okay? You don't like to lose. I get it. Nobody likes to lose. But, look at who you're playing. Norway versus Colombia. I had Colombia winning this against Switzerland. I think the same thing still here. I don't think Norway has what it takes to stop Colombia firepower. I think Colombia takes that, no problem. This game right here, match 95, USA versus Argentina. That game will be in, let me see, Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. I think what's going to happen here is you're going to have the media go with USA as the underdogs, and rightfully so. There's the defending world champions Argentina coming into play. And the problem is people think that this Argentina is not the same. And yes, you have a lot of players, but I think this Argentina is stronger. You have to remember in the World Cup qualifiers, like they did really, really good. I don't remember them having any struggling much besides Brazil and Uruguay in the tournament. All right. Now, this will be a game that USA will try to measure themselves against. And I get it, you want to. And you have the right coach in Pochettino, who's Argentinian, to get them ready for this one. I just think they're not there. Because the thing you have to understand, Argentina and Uruguay are similar in the fact that they are aggressive. They're like pit bulls when they play. I don't know if there's any other nation in this tournament that comes close. Okay. they're tough to beat, especially because they can be technical and aggressive like that. So it's not that easy to beat them. That's why when you beat like an Argentina, you pound your chest because of the fact that you went to war and you won. Okay. So with that being said, that's Argentina. Okay. Um, I see Ecuador. Unfortunately, their tournament coming to an end here. Um, it's just England is too strong, man. And the fact that there are some players that Tuchel left out, still like people are worried about it, and I see the concerns. Um, I just don't think there should have been an issue with that. I'd be all right. Argentina, Colombia. I have this one repeating the Common Bowl final. Argentina. Um, everybody's gonna be like, why Colombia? I get Colombia is solid, but the thing is, you have to remember. I said this before. I said to friends, Colombia has this stigma that I've seen since I was a kid that when they're hot and then they get to a final and they lose that final, they hit a wall. Okay, they hit a wall, and it's and that wall was seen during the World Cup qualifiers. They struggle against teams they shouldn't have struggled. Okay, I think they're gonna get back into this game, and they're gonna fall back into what happened in that final. Now, with that being said, this will you are gonna want to watch that game. That is gonna be a good game to watch. Okay, that's gonna be a good game to watch. Um, Now, with that being said, I have my semifinals: England, Argentina, and on one side, and then on the other side, it is France versus Spain. Now, this is where it gets tricky because this is where you have what I call the X factor. Back to Portugal again. Mbappe has been having issues because of his supposed attitude, the way he carries himself now. He's had an issue with Conte. I've heard now that there's an issue with Shariki, but it's not one. Shariki's issue is not with Mbappe. It's mostly with like fans and anybody else. So the France team is very talented, but so is the Spain team. And you got to remember, this Spain team is the one that won the Euros, the last one. So I think that preview was going to be repeated again. I think Spain will win this game. It will be a great game to watch, just like the Euro final was. I don't think that final score is anywhere close to what it should be. Maybe like a 3-2 or a 2-1, but not not a 1-0, not a 2-0, not a 3-0. It's going to be like a 3-2 or 2-1 game. Okay? And then on this one, we we are repeating Mexico 86 again. England is going to want to come back for a pound of flesh in this game, trying to avenge that loss in that final. Was it against them or was it? No, that was Germany, but it was in that tournament, Mexico 86. Let's see. Knockout stage. Yeah, it was in the quarterfinals. That's what it was. It was in the quarterfinals. It was a 2-1 game in the quarterfinals. But yeah, they're gonna want to bench that. I just think they're gonna hit a wall. I don't think Harry Kane or Saka will be able to be effective in this game. In the aspect to get on the stat sheet, on the score sheet, they won't. I don't think it's 1-0. I think it'll be 2-0. All 3-1 will be fine. 2-0 is what I'm thinking for this game. That is going to be the final for that one. And I have this: Spain, Argentina in the final, France versus England in third place. I think this one is going to be interesting to watch because a lot of teams in third place matches, they just don't care. And it's a matter of which team cares less, because the team that cares less is going to lose the game because they're just going to play whoever, and you're going to have a starter lineup that you're not going to recognize. So the team that cares less is the one that's going to lose. And I think that France is going to be that team that cares less. And I think England's going to be third place. We're finally going to get the finalissimo that we should have gotten a few years ago. between Argentina and Spain. But at this point, it's going to be for something even more, uh, a cup or final is more important. The World Cup final. Now, this is an interesting one to me because you have so much that goes on in here, some storylines that go into here. You have the Lamine Yamal bars, letting down Messi, Barcelona, that intertwine, the picture that Messi kind of like took a picture with Yamal when he was a baby that kind of handed off to him. And will this game be that same symbolic where Messi hands over being one of the top players in the game, but to me, the top player, to Yamal as saying, "Here, I'm passing the baton to you now, as you are the next one, to carry this sport over." Since you're like he's 20 now, I believe. Um, but then you have Argentina looking to repeat one more time, and then this is when Messi would be riding off in the sunset. Will he be riding with that cup in his hand into the sunset, or will he be riding into the sunset crying? Uh, Not tears of joy because he has a cup in his hand, but just because of this last World Cup. What are we going to watch? This is a tough one to go with because there's so much to look at. The defenders for Argentina, or will they be able to find a way to stop the wingers in regards to Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal? Are they going to be able to stop the creativity of the midfield between Pedri, Ozabal, uh, to create for everybody up top? Are they going to be able to handle that physicality that they play? Is Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez, are they going to be able to put goals away against, Spain? Is Enzo Fernandez going to show up? Nico Paz is a player to watch. Is he going to play in this game? Is he going to be effective? Is he going to have anything to do in this game? I can say anything about Messi, but I don't want to beat everything about Messi because there's more Argentina team about than Messi, and that's what people tend to forget. So this is one where, to me, you can't go. You can make a point for either team. I'm leaning towards either one. But if I had to decide, I just think that the team will literally rally around Messi one last time, knowing it's his last one, knowing that this is like you had Qatar and that rally cry was different than this one. That rally cry was more of like, win it for the Gipper, especially after the Saudi Arabia game. There was so much more on there. This one, I think they're more relaxed because they already won it. Now it's like more of like, okay, now it's like we got the target on our back. We have to win this. We have to prove to the world that what we did 4 years ago wasn't a fluke, even though we don't have the same team because there's no more Angel Di Maria. A lot of players are 4 years older now. You have some young players in here as well. I think this team is coming with a chip on their shoulder that people don't realize that's going to weigh heavier than what everybody thinks. Spain is going to give them one of the best tests. I think, again, this will be another great final to watch like it was 4 years ago when it was Argentina, France. I don't think it'll get to PKs, though. I think it'll either end in the regular 90th minute or it'll end up in overtime. But I don't think it'll get to PKs. I think Argentina will have enough, and that score is valid to me as a 3-2. I think that's how it's going to be. I think Yamal will be effective. I think Nico will have his moments. I just don't think they're gonna be able to finish much off. I think the goalies will play big in this game. Raya and Martinez. Debo is going to throw another showcase. I just think this is really one of those where it's like they're going to have to pull stuff out their ass because the attack on both these teams is be so good. It's like, okay, goalies, watch what they're doing. If you play the goalie, watch these. If this is a game that happens, watch this game. Watch how they make these saves. watch what they're doing, how they're reading the game to make those saves, how they're making the goal smaller, make themselves bigger, um, when they're coming out, how they're coming out, in order to make the goal smaller and make themselves bigger. This game is just like the France game. This is going to be another one, like the France 4 years ago World Cup final. It's going to be another one. This is good. Yeah, but like I said, I can go with Spain too. This is. I don't think there's you can make a conversation for either one. You know, this is. I just think I see it this way. People can say you're a homer. It's not. It's just the way I see it. It's it's not that they have an easy path. Is the path that I originally had for them is I'll show you. Um, let's see if I can get this over here. Share screen. No, where is it? Share. Okay, so this was my original path. The original bracket is supposed to be. Let me see. Brazil was the only team on the left side from the CONMEBOL, and everybody on the right side was CONMEBOL. And as you see here, Paraguay was right here. It's supposed to be Paraguay versus Argentina. It's supposed to be Argentina going through a gauntlet of CONMEBOL teams to get to the semifinal. And that's why I think they're going to get there, because they're going to face England. I think they have enough to beat England, and I think they have enough to beat Spain. I think they have enough to win this tournament. I think they have what it takes to win back to back, and that hasn't been seen in quite some time. That back to back repeating champions. Let me see, who was the last one? I want to say it was France. Last time that did it, years ago. Let me see. No, there wasn't. The last back to back champion was Brazil, 58 and 62. After that, there has been no back to back champions. So Argentina can pull this out. They'll be the first one since Brazil in 58-62. Before that, it was Italy in 34 and 38 for their two. But yeah, no, Brazil won it in 94. France stopped them in 98. Brazil won it in 02. And then, but yeah, I think Argentina has enough to win it. I think they got this. I think that final with Spain will be great. It'll be a good one to watch. I just don't think that we can sleep on Argentina as much as people like to say. I don't think there's going to be much of a Cinderella story, to be honest. I mean, if you want to talk about third place teams, that's fine, but I don't think any team like the third place team is going to get too far. It's I just don't think so. I think a lot of the powerhouses are coming by. I don't any upsets you're going to see. It's going to happen in group stages. Mostly, I don't think you're going to see anything crazy in the round of 32, round of 16. I don't think you're going to see anything crazy there. I think everything is going to fall into place. You might be surprised by some scores, like I said, but I don't think underdogs will really be too effective on here. But with that being said, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Please follow us on Instagram, Sportsmark Analyst, as I will be posting there who I believe are the players to watch for the young stars. I can't remember what the award is called now anymore. They switched it like once or twice already. The Golden Ball, the Golden Boot, and the Golden Glove. I'll see who the top 5 or top 10 are going to be to watch on those. And then I might have little comments there. So for the players, Um, but yeah, and I'll see if I can be more. I can start making more videos, more streams about this. Depending on comments, likes, views, we'll go from there. Again, thank you for joining. Until next time, if I can get this to go. Let me see. And yep, we are